Solar power projects are popping up all over central New York, with some local officials saying the switch to green energy could bring a number of benefits to the region.
Our Tony Black is looking into why some community and state leaders are pushing for more solar power in our state.
So I think the increased interest in solar is partially because it fits so many different areas and fields.
Solar energy is making its way into central New York. You can see it in places like this field in Oriskany and here at SUNY ESF.
One of my online sustainability or solar installation courses has over 50,000 students enrolled. That's across the globe.
Neil Abrams teaches solar installation courses. He's seen the interest in this industry grow in part to the professional opportunities within it. One of the newest places to grow, the former Oneida County Airport.
The entire project that's supporting the energy efficiency and electrification of the Empire State Plaza is going to be a marquee project.
Sarah Salati with the New York Power Authority says the energy sourced from the panels in Oriskany will supply power for up to half the Empire State Plaza in Albany, more than 100 miles away. The panels will surround one of the runways at the now State Preparedness Training Center.
There's plenty of land and plenty of space and plenty of creativity to build these projects in a sustainable manner.
A solar panel project coming to Oneida County, but the actual energy being used elsewhere. That's been a concern we've heard across the region on solar panel proposals looking to set up shop. Salati says there's an environmental benefit for everyone when solar moves in.
Any amount of renewable energy that is coming into the grid is greening it overall.
The Whitestown town supervisor said the town was not involved in the 150-acre plan, but has confidence in the county to have the best interests of everyone in mind when carrying out projects. The Oneida County executive said, quote, "As a New Yorker and a trustee on the New York Power Authority Board, I support any effort to strengthen our state power grid in an efficient and clean manner." Salati says this site had technical and economical benefits to it. It's already state-owned land, and she says it's being underutilized now. Another reason solar panel sites are more frequently proposed now is the state's support for solar. Annual contracts are awarded for companies to build renewable energy projects here. The state buys the energy and then sells it to your energy provider. Salati says it's time to think creatively to expand solar, saying the state can use land, but also buildings to source power.
I think about the alternative. So if not there, where do you want your electricity to come from, and what do you want it to look like? Do you want to see smokestacks? Do you want to see nuclear power plants?
Construction will begin on the site next year and complete in 2023.
A new masking mandate took effect this morning in Erie County, which includes the city of Buffalo. Masks are now required there in all public indoor locations, regardless of vaccination status. Over the past week, that county has reported more than 4,000 COVID cases. The Erie County executive says the area's transmission rate is 4 times higher than what the CDC deems a high transmission community.
Here in Onondaga County, 140 COVID cases reported today. A man in his 70s died from the virus. There are 105 people now in Syracuse hospitals with COVID. And unvaccinated people continue to drive that patient load. So, with these numbers, should we be expecting similar mandates or changes here in Onondaga County? Our Connor White's in studio now after hearing from the county executive late today. Connor?
Matt and Megan, to put it simply, not just yet. Ahead of Thanksgiving, the county has rolled out asymptomatic testing options, asking everyone to rule out COVID as soon as possible if they're sick. The county is also continuing to urge people to get the vaccine if they haven't already. These are the tools that the county will be relying on to avoid a winter surge, not willing to pull the trigger on restrictions just yet. Snow has arrived just ahead of Thanksgiving gatherings in Syracuse.
If this moves in a direction when everybody's activities go indoors and Delta's still strong, then we got to look at all of these tools that we have.
That's the county executive just over 2 months ago. Today, 38 more people are hospitalized and 71 have died since the end of September, more than triple the number of deaths in the same period last year. McMahon says the data doesn't support restrictions, pointing to other tools.
Certainly, there's certain areas of the economy that we don't want to cripple again. We need to get our shots. We need to get our booster shots. We need to be very smart, and we just need to stay home when we're sick.
He says hospitalization rates play a big factor. Local hospitals say they're under strain, with 105 hospitalized countywide today compared to 107 this day last year.
Get input from the hospitals. We will come up with a hospitalization number that will trigger potential mitigation.
The county executive did not give a specific metric or even what exactly mitigation will look like, saying at first it would be about a test or vaccination policy at major indoor gatherings, and masking could come later, pointing to daily case rates and hospitalizations being lower than Erie County, reintroducing mask mandates there this week. They are handling 253 hospitalizations with 67 cases per 100,000, a number that drops to 52 in Onondaga County.
52, when we're at 52, which is 25% lower, and we do something, that's a knee-jerk reaction from me. And then people say, why are we going to comply? Because I need them to comply, Connor.
McMahon and health experts have said vaccines are really the key here. 32% of the county isn't vaccinated, and that minority population has accounted for 67% of deaths since August 1st. The county is hoping the state can provide more resources so they can target zip codes with low vaccination rates.
Many Americans are eager to visit their loved ones over the holiday after missing out on those festivities last year, but the pandemic has not ended. So, should you take precautions before traveling? Tony Black explains.
A lot of people taking to the sky here at the Syracuse Hancock International Airport for Thanksgiving, and local health experts are expecting to see a spike in COVID-19 cases after the holidays. So if you're planning to fly, to drive, to take a bus or a train, there are some things you can do to keep safe. It's that time of year again when people take to the sky and the road for Thanksgiving. It may be the first time in a couple years people are gathering around the table. So what can you do to ensure it's a safe one?
Tests are widely available now. We are not in the same position we were at the start of the pandemic. You can get a good PCR test at a lot of different places.
Dr. Chris Morley with Upstate Medical University says get vaccinated and get a booster. Get tested before gathering, considering wearing masks, and be cautious when in transit. Places like rest stops and airports can be filled with people.
If you're in an area that's really packed and crowded and people aren't masking, if it's possible, use a different site or just be really cautious when you go in.
Thanksgiving 2020 contributed to a spike in cases while we have vaccines this time. He says a lot has changed since then.
We were really aggressively pursuing masking. We had people staying home. You had a lot less activity.
What about when you get back? He recommends getting tested a few days after your return and mask up. Colleges are also preparing for after break. Syracuse University offers testing 6 days a week. Colgate and Cornell will require tests for those unvaccinated. Cazenovia College will continue to test 10% of their population every week. Lemoyne offers 4 days of tests. SUNY Cortland will not require additional testing for those who are vaccinated.
So we do suspect that holiday travel and gatherings will lead to a new spike. I'm sorry to share that with you, but that's what we believe will happen.
Dr. Morley says he's less concerned about people bringing the virus somewhere else or bringing it back here when they return, saying it's already in all parts of our country.